Welcome to your breath, to this moment, to a sense of aliveness in your body, a sense of movement in your body. The movement that has to do with balance. Balance is not static. So many times people say to me, I need balance in my life. And they're like gripping. you know, it's like, when you're surfing, you gotta relax. When there's a lot of, yeah, you do have to hold on to, and with no tension, really. The holding on is it's like shifting back and forth. My needs, their needs, our needs, the needs of the earth, the needs of, my ancestors. It is kind of like you're on a surfboard. There's like these micro movements that keep you from falling under. And of course, falling under or getting off the board is part of it. So, balance as something to navigate with grace and care as I go into, like, this is really important to me. I have to have this happen. And then reality. Then what is actually happening? And somebody very wise said, you can argue with that reality, but you're going to lose every time. And and so it takes balance. I mean, my needs are real, my longings are real, and listening to those and sort of somehow using what's happening around me to navigate that world, finding um, the beautiful pathway where we did not expect to go, finding the negotiating where there's openings, where we have lift. It's a matter of the intensity of our longings, not dampening them to, make everything acceptable to, you know, everybody. It's not about that at all. So there's this phenomena that happens at IITs. It's like one person who's real vocal with a list of needs can sort of kind of topple everybody off into, like, kind of going along with, like, oh, we've got to make this person happy. And then it's like, then 79 people are like, yeah, but where's the energy? Where's the... So it really is negotiating. How can we meet everybody's needs without compromise? I mean, that's a particularly NVC way of mediating, is like, no, you don't have to compromise. People are like, what? You don't have to compromise? It's like, no, there's other ways of meeting our needs. What the idea for me is to loosen up my attachment to, as many of you have seen, have heard and said on this call, telling the difference between a need and a strategy, a way of meeting that need. These people will appreciate me, respect me, and their way of doing that may be very different from what I imagine. It probably is going to be very different from how I imagined, and finding that. Oftentimes I tell myself the story that like, oh, that I don't matter. I mean, I'm just really, really going back the to my childhood, to when we're really young, and really our needs don't matter for the most part. I mean, I can't say that never. It's they're not what's driving the movement forward for a family. So coming back to that, is this something in me from a long time ago that can be met in another way? Even when I'm feeling really scared, really anxious, and there's a lot of anxiety with the decisions that I'm making and how people are reacting to them, being with that achiness, not as negativity as like, yes, this is here, and there's so much love, and there's so much love here. So it's always, for me, often it comes to expanding my world, expanding my view of how things are, and having conversations with other people that may take a while, that are preferably not with email or text, even worse. Because when you're in person, you can be with that shifting. And I think that's why a lot of people like email. They feel like they have some sort of control, they're not going to be so reactive. It's like, I don't mind the reactivity. I don't mind the being pulled in different directions. I can feel the aliveness of that. And then I can take a break and say, I can hear this is important to you, and I need to take a walk, even though that might trigger another person. Even that, though it might be difficult for somebody else, when you pull away and take care of yourself and find your own inner balances, when pulled into the intensity. It's such a process. So balance as an internal state that we find in the hammock, and we can, or a walk, and then as we navigate, as we go through our life, with honoring our needs and listening to others as well, with really listening to their needs rather than get caught up in, well, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. Really listening to the love and the care there, and expressing how painful it is hearing certain things. It's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy. And balance is not static. And we want to offer that to loved ones. Can you self-regulate? Maybe not. Can you learn to do this without me? Hoping people can. As we do that for ourselves, as we come back to this sense of anxiety, does not mean that I'm broken. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong. It just means that there's this like when we're moving slightly to keep upright. Well, sometimes we have to fall, and that's part of it. So we can offer that to a loved one. May you be able to find balance without me right now. Or can I contribute to your sense of balance right now and you not rely on it? It's tough. But staying with that balance, longing for a balance in the relationship that feels mutual as two adults, even though there might be a history of something different, particularly with siblings when one's older than the other. There's not going to be an innate balance. People are going to go back to how they felt as children when the shit hits the fan. It comes up. And we can hope for all beings in the world to be able to hold themselves with care, an inner sense of balance, as we navigate people that are triggered, are upset, are being stimulated. We can let them find their own balance and then come back into the conversation with love, with care, and respect. Thank you so much.